Hello, this is Dylan Miller on Daily Dose of Dylan, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, or iHeartRadio. Dylan Miller on Daily Dose of Dylan. Alright, a lot of college football talk today. College football talk. What Marcus Aldridge retired from the NBA. We'll talk about that coming up. Talk about the Nets a bit. What else do I got? So people, sometimes quarterbacks, so quarterbacks sometimes drop in the draft. And they wind up with a great team, like Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes. They wound up with great teams. They wound up with people that were already playoff teams at the time. And that just, it sets them up for a good career. It sets them up for success. So I'll talk about who I think will be lucky and drop. And I'm going to decide who would go into the Hall of Fame and who won't. Alright, but first, Trevor Lawrence said he doesn't have a chip on his shoulder. And now think about this. Some guys don't have to hate to be great. Michael Jordan had to. He was cut from his basketball team. And he was lived by this angry, get it done mentality. Brady was a 6th-round pick. You saw that picture of him at the Combine. Not very flattering. They had to overcome it. They were doubted. Very much. Most people didn't even think Jordan was the best player on his team. On the college team he was on. But he fought through it, Trevor Lawrence, when you're a prodigy, you don't feel the need to live with a chip on your shoulder because you're Trevor Lawrence. You've been the best quarterback since you were 15. No one. This guy's like a football god almost, coming out of college at least. I was watching The Herd today, and LeVar Arrington was on the show, and he said, I would trust a man with a plan more than a man with a chip on his shoulder. And it makes sense, because Lawrence has a plan. He knows what he's going to do. He's ready to, dominate the NFL. He has a plan. Jordan and Brady, they're phenomenal players, but they had a chip on their shoulder. People like Lawrence and LeBron, they don't have a chip on their shoulder. They're prodigies. People know they're going to succeed. And it doesn't mean that they're not hard workers, they don't want to have a chip on their shoulder. They just don't. Because there's no reason to doubt them. And I think both can succeed in their respective sports, so see what happens with Trevor Lawrence. So, this guy was supposed to be the 2nd overall pick to Trevor Lawrence early in the year, but then obviously that switched up very quickly. Justin Fields had a second pro day yesterday. Now, I don't value pro days. I think they're nonsense. I could beat air sometimes, but anyone could beat air, So I don't think it's literally just guys making, if you can't make the throw with no coverage, there's some sort of problem with you. Here's what I like about this pro day though. There were decision makers there. Now we all know Trevor Lawrence is a consensus number 1 pick. But think about this, we can I anything in politics, and if someone agrees with it, they believe it. If you agree with it, I think 95% of what's on Twitter or Instagram is nonsense. Some of it's true, but you should really check your sources before believing any of that. But with Mac Jones, there's multiple sources saying he'd go number 3. And I understand it. I definitely understand it. Because I understand it now, because yesterday I retired from Mac Jones slander. Because Shanahan trusts his system, and he should. Nick Mullins is second in passing yards to his first 16 games. So, there's no reason to not trust it. So, I mean, I think Mac Jones is fine. I mean, Lance and Fields could ruin your system. What I don't understand is how he, slipped. How Fields slipped so much. Because he was the second overall pick after the season, and nothing else has happened after the season. There's been no combine, just pro days against air. So what is changing here? How much film did you watch? How much film did you watch that got you to believe that Wilson's better, Jones is better, Lance might be better? What got you thinking that? I don't understand that, really. I really don't. But, I got Mac Jones at 3 now. That's my new pick here. I just don't see how, because now I'm kind of thinking, he could pick Fields, Lance, or Mac Jones, and I won't care, because I think both will succeed. Alright, let's get some music going. Time to talk about LaMarcus Aldridge retirements. Alright, so, LaMarcus Aldridge retired from the NBA after 15 seasons. And, he had a hell of a career. I don't think people notice this. He's one of 15 people with 19,000 points. And 8,000 rebounds. He had a great career. He was a nice addition to the Nets. I said that. He's a good piece to any puzzle, like Al Horford, kind of. He was second fiddle to Kawhi for a while the Spurs were still washable. What did he make? Seven All-Star, seven All-NBA teams? 7 All-Stars? I don't know. He had a pretty good career. Very underrated career. Not many people noticed him. I always thought he was a great player. Thought he was about top 15 his entire career. But congrats to LaMarcus Aldridge. Put your health first. Good decision. Well done on your career. Alright, so Luka yesterday had one of the craziest buzzer beaters I've seen. I didn't watch the game. I was too tired. But I did see it on social media, and I was like, wow. That's just, that is ridiculous. And, I normally don't believe in, lucky shots. I think luck comes to people that are more prepared. Luka was prepared. And, isn't it, I don't think it's a coincidence that stars often make the big shots, But that he was falling down. That was like a prayer. He did not think he was going to make that shot. There's no way. That was crazy. But that was, I don't think Jalen Suggs' shot was luck. I think that was, he threw up a shot, and he hit it, He wasn't, and it was an easy shot. It wasn't an easy shot, my bad. But he wasn't falling down or anything. No one was guarding him really. He just he threw up a regular shot. I think that was just skill. But Luka, you're falling down and you just throw it up. That's a prayer. So I think Suggs was not luck, but Luka's was. Now, I think there was a bit of luck there. Some luck. Alright. So, Flutie, says that Mac Jones is a Tom Brady type of player. Now, alright, some of the quotes I say might not be exact, so you should probably look them up before you take from what I say. But it's basically what he said. He said he's a Tom Brady-like quarterback for the Patriots, I know we make comparisons, but I think we should rule out comparing anyone to Brady, LeBron, or MJ. Because it doesn't make sense. They are on a different level. LeBron, MJ, and Jordan are on a different... No. LeBron, MJ, and Brady are on a different level. You know, you shouldn't compare anyone to them. So, I mean, again, Mac Jones slander done. I understand why Kyle Shanahan wants him. Brady... Comparing him to Brady, I don't like. I really don't like. And in general, when you compare anyone to Brady, I just don't like it. So, I mean, I don't... No. I think we should rule that out, really. I really do. Alright, so, Steve Nash, said that the Nets might never get any games together. Or not get much games together. This is a lot like the Clippers. Many of us were fooled by this. I wasn't fooled. I said the Lakers in 7. I was kind of fooled because I did lean into it a bit. I was very much on the edge about picking the Lakers. But I'm glad I did. But a lot of people were fooled by this. By the Clippers last season. A lot of them thought, yeah, they're the best. They're 12-1 when healthy. But you're playing 13 of, I think they played like 72 games last year or something. Okay, 13 of like 70 last year, okay. And the Nets have had noise all season too. I mean, first it was like, okay, we don't need a coach, we're good. Then Kyrie took a sabbatical for like a week. Then they made a massive trade with Harden, which has worked out for the better. But there's been a lot of noise this season. Both Kawhi and KD are great players. But you can't build around them. Around their personality, at least. Kawhi is a little quiet, he leads by example, but some people don't learn by example. So it doesn't really work with that. KD, he's been, he kind of, he normally, what he does is, because I don't think he's never led a team to a championship, really. Because he went to the Thunder, never led them to a championship. Then the Warriors, where Steph was already established as the leader. Then he goes here, and he is the leader. But they got a lot of chaos, and they're not playing together, really. And Doc Rivers said this. He said, the problem last year was we weren't playing together. We couldn't play together in the playoffs, because we hadn't played together all season. It's a problem. I think the Nets can get it done. It's definitely possible, but I mean, 7 games as a full roster is not always the best. And Doc Rivers said he's a great NBA coach. He knows a lot. He's very smart. He said it was a problem last year for the Clippers. So we'll see what happens with the Nets. So the Broncos admitted that they would like to take Trey Lance early. And think about this. We know there are 3 QBs that will be taken on the top 3. First, Lawrence, then Wilson, then either Fields or Mac Jones. Then after that, the Falcons will most likely trade it. If they do what I think they're going to do, which is trade down to the Broncos, and the Broncos are the 4th pick. Well, if Justin Fields is there, they're going to take Justin Fields. They're not going to take Trey Lance. Bengals don't need a quarterback. Dolphins are going to give Tua another year. Lions, they have too many needs, and Jared Goff's salary is terrible. Panthers, they're already paying 2 quarterbacks. Falcons, they're looking to